Oh, I can't wait to see this. 388, 188, 283. Oh my god, that's worse than the last time. Yeah, rep my tactics rating. Matthew, thief and spy. Matthew continued to surface as a spy for House Ostia. The memory of his beloved Leela lingers on in his heart. Oswin, impregnable knight. Oswin served as a vassal to Marquis Ostia. His was a calm, reasonable voice in Lycia's ruling government. Sarah, outspoken cleric. Sarah returned to Ostia. She spent much time tending to her own affairs, but lately she has begun to enjoy her free time. Marcus, Knight of Faerie. Marcus returned to Faerie with Ellawood and, as head of the Knights of Faerie, dedicated his life to training young squires. Aloin, Swift Knight. Aloin replaced Marcus as the most famed knight in all Faerie. His endless zeal served Faerie well throughout his life. Rebecca, a wildflower. Rebecca returned to her father, then pledged service to House Faerie. She has formed a family, and yet she serves Faerie well. Dorcas, serene warrior. Dorcas returned to Faerie and used the money he earned to buy medicine for Natalie, his wife. She recovers rapidly. Barter, a wildfire. Barter continued his quest from country to country. Rumors say that he fell in love with his own mortal enemy. Guy, mounted swordsman. Priscilla, secluded princess. They fell in love amidst conflict, but Priscilla was a noble, and Guy was but a mercenary nomad. Guy rode away before her tears could stain the earth, though her smile was the brightest thing he had ever saw. No! Urk, studious mage. Urk returned to Etruria and was asked to succeed the retiring Lord Pent. He refused and devoted his life to the study of magic. Kent, the Crimson Shield. After Kaelin was placed under Ostian rule, Kent became its steward. His dedication earned him the love of his people. Sain, the Green Lance. When Ostia took over the rule of Kaelin, Sain resigned and became an independent knight. His love of women is unchanged. He's the best. Will, archer without equal. Will remained a knight of Kaelin even after Ostia took over. He became the commander of Ostia's Kaelin Archer Division. Raven, sublime mercenary. Raven vanished without a word. Many reports have placed him in Arthen, but none could be confirmed. Lucius the Light. Lucius lived a modest life in a remote corner of Arthen. He built a small orphanage where he now cares for helpless children. Canas, seeker of wisdom. Canas returned to his family in Ilia. Some years later, he and his wife died trying to stop a snowstorm. His child was raised by his old mother, Nime. Dart, Badon's company. Dart took a grave wound protecting Fargus in a skirmish. He vanished at sea, but rumors claim he might be in Faerie. Legault, the Hurricane. After the battle, Legault traveled the lands looking for Blackfang refugees. He helped them to ease the pain of his own loss. Nils and Ninian, Child of Destiny. After these dragonkin bid farewell to the land of their birth, they returned to their new world. Meeting Ellawood warmed the hearts of these ice dragons with the hope that man and dragon could live in peace. Isadora, escort of Faerie, hearken, troubled warrior. They were married shortly after returning to Faerie. Their love grew during their years of service, and now it blossomed with the blessings of Ellawood and Eleonora. Many envied their good fortune. I'm glad he got a happy ending. Heath, wandering knight. Heath moved to Ilia and became a mercenary knight of some fame. He fought not for country, but for people in need. Hawkeye, Desert Guardian. Hawkeye returned to Nabata and lived peacefully in Arcadia with his daughter, whom he trains to be guardian of the desert. Geats, the Wanderer. Geats resumed his aimless wandering. He still searches for a land that he can finally call his own. Getting you was a pain in the ass. Farina, the Great Wing. Farina far surpassed her duties as commander of the Pegasus Knights of Ilia. Her skill earned her fame as well as high prices. At least she got that happy ending. Pent, Mage General. I didn't use them, holy crap. When Athos died, Pent took over his research. To focus on his studies, Pent resigned as Mage General of Etruria. This action was set the palace in an uproar, but Pent and Louise endured. Nino, oh my god, Nino Pious Mage. At Ellawood's invitation, she started a quiet life in a small village in Faerie. She plans to return to Baran to visit a certain cemetery. Jafar, Angel of Death. Jafar vanished in the final moments of the last battle. He still avoids the bounty hunters who seek out the famed Angel of Death. Vida, Flying Fang. Some rumors say that Vida died at the hands of Burn forces. Others say that she now serves Burn's Prince Zephiel. Carla, Sword Vassal. After the conflict, Carla became involved with a warrior she met. She died of an illness several years later. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Renaud, Burden Bishop. No one knew the old him, no one knows what became of him. He vanished as though he had never existed. That goes to show how good of a unit he is. Archsage Athos. Athos died in a foreign land. Those who saw his face said that he seemed as though he had, at last, found true peace. Merlinus, Cheery Merchant. Merlinus opened a shop in Ostia, but was forced to close. He plans on reopening with some aid from Lord Ellawood himself. 2 losses. Lynn, Noblewoman of Sake, Wrath, Wolf of Sake. When her grandfather died, Lynn asked that Kaelin be taken under Ostian protection. She set out for Sake, where she was reunited with Wrath of the Katola. They had a daughter and lived happily in the plains. Ellawood, Knight of Lycia, Fiora, Wingborn Warrior. Ellawood and Fiora were wed after the conflict. A group of Lycian nobles protested that she was a mercenary, but none could sunder their bond of love. They have a son named Roy, who will become a great hero. He's a terrible lord. Hector, General of Ostia, Florina, Pegasus Knight. Hector succeeded his brother as Marquis of Ostia, but the pain of his brother's death weighed heavily on him. His beloved Florina gave him comfort and helped him become an enlightened leader. Adam, famed genius. The tactician vanished after the final battle. Bern, Lycia, and Etruria all sought those famed skills, but none ever found the tactician. I take it that I got a B rank on this or something. Finn. Sadly, I'm playing the PAL version because it's the only, physical copy I have of the game, which means we won't get to see the the extended epilogue where Roy and Lilina first meet because it was taken out. So, ripping pepperonis to one of the greatest epilogues in any Fire Emblem game. Well, in my opinion, at least.